Well, John, you spoke at the weekend about, a rotten run of luck that you guys have had in the opening part of the season. In your career, when you've had spells like this, either as a manager or a player, what's gotten you out of it? And can you even take luck out of the equation?
Yeah, I won't say we had rotten luck. I'm saying we just haven't had the rub of the green at certain times, and I think that's important. I wouldn't say we've been, like unlucky as such. It's just there's certain bits in parts and moments in games where you need the rub of the green, and I felt we didn't have that, that hasn't happened. So what you do with that, you just got to keep doing what we've been doing. We work hard, we do our own work, we study the opposition, and we do the same thing whether we win, lose or draw, because I think that's important. We look at strengths and weaknesses. We have a team meeting, and then we go on the training ground and we work hard. And it's just about plugging away. If you think we're a million miles away, then we have to change what we're doing. If I don't think we're a million miles away, we've been competitive in every game. We played the top 4 of our league in the last 4 games. So, and we've been in them all. Yes, we've had periods in those games where we've been under pressure, and we know that because we're playing good sides. We're going to have parts in every game where we're going to be under pressure, and that's again the moments where we go. You need a little bit of luck sometimes. We need discipline, because then that helps when you are under pressure, and sometimes you just need that little rub of the green, like you're saying. The goal the other night was we made 3 blocks on the other night, and every block we made fell to one of their players. If it falls to one of ours, we can clear it. But that's just I don't want to make excuses, because it is where it is. But that's what you just got to get your head down and keep plugging away. If you believe what you're doing, he's right.
Yeah, and I suppose when those sort of things go against you, has there been any need to lift heads after those sort of things? Because, as you say, you've been competitive in all those games.
Yeah, well, I always look at, you've got to be honest with yourself, and I look at the players' reaction. The players' reaction after the game is they're disappointed that obviously the results have gone against us, and in the manner that they have. That's always a disappointment. But then I look at the reaction when they walk through the door the next time we're training. And the players have been upbeat. The players are, working hard. You talk to the players and they genuinely believe we're not a million miles away. But, results that we've had at the moment say different. We are where we are. So what I don't want to do is get in a rut, which, we have had that before, where we've lost a couple of games, and it's very difficult to then, you're playing catch up. We've got a fantastic opportunity tomorrow to win a football match and get where I feel and I believe we should be, and that is the top half of the table at this moment in time. And I think, we hadn't probably played the teams we've played, the strong teams we've played, and played the way we've played. I think we would be in a better position.
You've spoken a lot post-match as well over the last few weeks about the fact you're having to leave out good players because you've only got 5 substitutes as options. I mean, in the future, is that something the National League should look at? I mean, should you have 7 on the bench at this level?
Well, I don't know any reason why we shouldn't have 7. They're in our squad. We've got enough players. When this went out, no manager was asked about having 5 subs or 7 subs. It was the owners or the chairman was asked that. So I think if you spoke to every manager in our league, they would say it's a no-brainer to have 7 subs. It's not going to cost any more money. We still take the same people down. When we have 5 subs, we still take 2 extra bodies with us, and we still have to pay them. So, and I think what it does, it takes away some of the opportunity to put some youngsters and give them the first team experience, even if they don't get on, the experience being with us. So I think it's a no-brainer. Otherwise, the other thing is to go without a goalkeeper, and I think doing that, you're always taking a chance when you go without a goalkeeper, because it only has to happen once and you look stupid. So you have to cover for every base, and we are having to leave players behind and off the bench. So like I've said to you, we've had players who will play, and then might not even play or be on the bench the next game just because of what we're playing against and the makeup of the opposition's team and what we may need at certain scenarios in our game. So, yeah, it's a difficult one.
When you're making those calls, is it something that you talk to the players about before the game, or do you say, well, come and see me afterwards if you want, to talk about it?
But we talk about it in the build-up to the week. So in the build-up to every game, we talk about how we're going to start, what we're going to need for the makeup of the team to start with, and then possibly what could happen and how we could change it if need be, or how we could stay strong, or without putting square pegs in round holes. I think that's the important bit. So on that, I might have to look at a substitute who can play maybe 2 or 3 positions, than just bringing one who's just an out-and-out, say, a defender, where use someone who could actually go in defence if I needed him, and fill another position. So, it's almost like when you're playing a cup competition, when we do, doing international stuff. I've done international stuff. You don't always take the best players. You take the players, the squad who can play in several positions, because you're going to need it. And we've got games thick and fast. So I've got to look at a lot of things. I've got to look at the maintenance of the players. We have had players who've been out injured a long time, and just how they're going, and obviously all the data from the GPS. So we don't want now is to keep flogging players and end up with injuries, and then we're missing them for 3 or 4 weeks. We're giving people a rest, putting people in and out when we need to, and using your squad. And that's why we need our squad to be competitive and understand what we're doing is, you've not been dropped. You've been called upon to play a game when needed. And then if you're rested, you're rested. But you're never out the squad.
So Wealdstone next, and obviously you should have played them on the opening day of the season. You've done all your prep for that and getting a sense of what they're like as a team. Now you've seen them a few games in the National League. Has your impression changed at all, or are they pretty much as you expected them to be?
Pretty much how we expected to be, really. They've made things full signings since we would have played them, so they're obviously stronger. They've had a good result at weekend. They're on a high because of what they did last year. And we're playing them away. So, it's a tough game. They're all, and I say it, they're all tough games for us, but they're all tough games for most people, I think. I think Wrexham found that out on Saturday. They had a good result against them. Probably raised a few eyebrows to say, well, if you would fancy Wrexham maybe to go down and win down there, but it's not to be that. But that's this league at the moment. It's going to be a tough game, and if we do what we've been doing and do things slightly better, we'll be okay. But if we go down there and we're not quite at it, we'll be in for a difficult evening.
Yeah, and I know you won't be counting chickens or anything like that. It's still so early in the season, though, and a win, and you're up to 9th in the table.
Yeah, but that's kind of what we're looking at. I don't like the idea. We were really disappointed that we never played the first game of the season, because you are playing catch up, and then now we're going into another weekend where it's an FA Cup weekend, and everybody's had the breather, and we are playing again. So you're always playing catch up when you miss a game on a Saturday. But we're looking at that. It's a good opportunity to win a football match. It's to get us up the table where I believe, genuinely believe that we should be in a better position than we are with more points. But the table says differently, and our results say differently. But when you look at the performances, we have been. I think we've been more than competitive in them all.
Thanks for your time, John. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
John, how big a boost is it to have Nathan Tyson back? I mean, obviously he'll be disappointed with his part in Stockport's winning goal, but overall, you're happy to welcome him back into the fold?
Yeah, it's good to have him back. I mean, we want all the players to be available for selection. We've got Yanni back now, so he's back training. Aidan Hollis is back with us, so we're all right. We're up to full strength. we want the competition for places, and Tice, a Tice would make a difference to us when he's fit and ready to go.
Is Nathan ready to start yet, or does he need a little bit longer to build himself back up?
Well, if you speak to Tice was ready to start the other night, but in his head, or whether he's actually right, I think that then becomes my call, really. And speaking to him properly, but I'm sure he's called upon. He'd want to start, definitely.
And you'll also welcome back Scott Bowden after his 3-match suspension. So you've got quite a lot of competition for places in the forward areas now.
Yes, we've got him back after his 3-game ban. But I also, the competition is, and looking at the form that Luke's been in. I thought Luke was excellent the other day when he started. And again, it's getting the balance right with him. And he's had a couple where he's been on the bench and come on, and then we started him, and then we have to look at how we did with that. It's the building process with him. But yeah, our strikers are now all fit, so we have good competition.
Joe Rowley is someone who featured in your first matchday squad, but has not been involved in the last 3. What has he got to do to try and impress you and get back into the fold?
Well, I mean, Joe's been all right. Joe's just been unfortunate because I have to look at what he can do and what the games have been, and what we're going to need. And at the moment, I feel Joe is very similar. I have to look at him and weigh him up with probably him and Liam Mandeville and say, which one could be the more dangerous for us, or can cope with the whole situation of what our games are about at the moment. So it's not all about scoring goals, making them, yes, but our game is first and foremost, you've seen them all, that they're all a fight, and we have to get a foothold in the game. And so at this moment in time, I just don't see as we've been in the games, I just don't see where I could fit him in at this moment in time. But yeah, he's training every day. He's training like everybody else. He just has to be patient. But he's been okay. He's disappointed he's not been involved. But it's just the way it is at the moment.
And someone we've not asked about for a while is Luke Coddington. How's he getting on in his recovery from injury?
Yeah, well, he's still working one-to-one with the medical department. We're probably looking at him realistically round about Christmas. So, he's still a bit off yet. And then we obviously, it's just a build up. And then once he starts to step his work up, then we'll see more about how his injury is recovering, whether, hopefully there's no knockbacks on it. But he's making good progress. We're told he's making good progress. So he's just been a really difficult time for him, but he's doing well with it.
It must be quite tough mentally for him having these sort of setbacks, and having to wait until Christmas time now. It must be quite difficult for him. How is he? No,
he's fine. What we try to do is keep him around. But I think when you've got an injury like that and you've been out a long time, you tend to do a lot of your work on your own. But I like to get him up to the training ground as much as we can. Try and get him to do some work that he can do around the lads, so he's in and around them. I don't think he particularly enjoys watching the games when he's not playing. I think that's a difficult one for him, which some people are like that. So I'm okay with that. He wants to come and watch, he can. If he doesn't, then I'm all right with that. It's just I think that's quite a normal scenario for people to be in. But as much as we can, getting people around. But he's quite positive. I think that the setback he had towards the end of last season, I think it knocked him a little bit. But he's got his head round it now, and he's now on the mend.